As it was I calling you and you was calling me, so we had two
Yeah,
calls.
yeah. So, how's my lighting? Um,
It's good. I
it's,
see everything.
yeah,
I think my lighting is good because the sun is hitting me.
yeah. It's kind of like it's not a
Yeah,
clear picture.
it's too. I know it's not a very good webcam, but it's maybe the sun that I'm so extremely white now.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So, well, you're in Germany.
Yes, in German.
Yeah, and how long have you been looking in at the Awake and Brave then, Chris?
I found your channel in end summer 2015. I think it was Amanita muscaria video where you dried them. The first
Y-
time you showed how you dried them.
Yeah.
Was
Okay.
that was the first video I found from you because at that time I was looking into Amanita muscaria and some psychedelic stuff, and I wanted to know because they grow here around everywhere. So I wanted to know how to dry them properly, and so I found your channel, and I found a lot of things, synchronicities with you, and a lot of stuff you like, and all that stuff, and so I watched some older videos of yours, and then and then I watched your transcendental meditation video and app. Then I subscribed to you, and since then I watch every video from you.
Wow.
Not every Skype conversation because I have something to do and watch other videos, but almost, but every video since then, but not all.
Fantastic. Yeah. So, how did you experience the Amanita? Did you have a similar experience to what I had?
No, not really, but it was the first time I took them and I dried them and I made a tea out of them. It was 4 to 5 grams. I already knew the dosage was too low, but okay, I tried it and I drank the tea, waited an hour, smoked the joint even to raise it maybe or feel something different, but still nothing. So I also thought, so it was too low dosage. Maybe next time I get a bigger dosage or something like that. And but I hadn't not really had any effects of that Amanita.
Yeah. I mean,
Too low of a dose, I think.
yeah,
And
I don't know how many of mine you've seen. Well, I mean, it sounds like you've seen a lot of them, but you'll know then that when I was dabbling with, say, like 5 grams,
mm,
and what I would do is I'd put them in the oven and I would dry them out at
mm,
the optimum temperature just to keep them nice and crisp and golden.
yeah.
And then I would just stir them in yogurt or put them in some orange juice, and I would just consume them that way.
Yeah.
And I would get a moment of kind of like youthfulness. I would appear to be very vibrant and energetic, like when I was like, say, 30 years old, and
Mm,
when I'm walking around with Paul, you see, in the woods and that, I'd go
yeah.
running around the woods and, acting very childlike. And it was so beautiful and emancipating. But it would only last for about 15 or 20 minutes. And then that'd be it. And so I thought to myself, well, I mean, I want to see, what more I can get from this. And so then I started to take 15 and 20.
Yeah.
And when I took 15 and 20, that had a very nauseous effect on me, and I would vomit on every occasion. I took them on an empty stomach, and within 5 minutes of taking that amount, I'm feeling queasy and I know I'm going to vomit. After about 20 minutes, I projectile vomit, and it feels fantastic. I feel pure. I feel like I've been cleansed inside, and then it takes about 3 hours for the real effects to come on. I don't get it. The stuff only been in the stomach, Chris, for about 20 minutes. The body hasn't absorbed it, just, I don't know, a little bit, but then it seems to store it, and then it gives it to you in 3 hours' time.
Maybe it's the botanic acid. It's like your body has to digest it into muscimol. So maybe it takes that time to do that. Maybe you just take it and you have that initial buzz from a little bit of muscimol, and then after 2 hours, your body has digested all the botanic acid, and then the rest of the muscimol kicks in. Maybe.
Yeah, I love Amanita muscaria, and I can't wait to do them again this year. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat a decent sized one fresh.
Fresh is.
Have you done that?
No, but I heard a lot of things because fresh has so many botanic acid in it, and it's not so good for your stomach and all that thing. And I think it behaves not so good with serotonin levels. I think botanic acid, and what I have found in the internet and through my research is always dry them, always never eat them raw. That is no raw, but maybe it's working better that way. But I just think dried, because most people say dried, and
but you see, most people, all they're doing is copying everybody else through their limited information. So if that's all we do, then we'll never really experience. I've listened to so many people tell the viewer that you need about 15 good-sized caps if it's going to threaten your life. Otherwise,
I heard the same. At least 10 big fresh caps to kill a grown man.
And so how can you eat 10, man? Your stomach would be bulging, and I think you'd really get bored halfway through. So there's no fear of that. But just for curiosity, I want to eat one. Because there's such a beautiful thing, and it calls me to do it, and so I'm going to go with my instinct, because I've learned from people that have done this. They will vomit violently almost instantly after, and so it's out of your system for the better part, and then see what remains.
You can try it, myth busting, like you call it.
Yeah, that's right. Got to do some myth busting. So tell me, Chris, are you looking forward to berserking?
Berserking? I know what you mean, because like you howling like a wolf and something like that. Yeah, maybe I don't have any problem with that. I like to try a little bit more with psilocybin mushrooms, because I live near the border to Netherlands, and I had a Skype conversation with Shores.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's just 60 kilometers apart of me. So
brilliant.
And every time I want to have some mushrooms or some weed, I can go there. It's not far from here, 30 kilometers from here where I live in Germany. So I don't have really a problem with that. And but I don't have really, the problem is I don't have really much friends that have the same interest in that stuff. They are just, like, I call them Matrix people. They know some conspiracy theories, and I like to talk with them about some things, and some things are too far away for them. But I don't have really a lot of people where I can talk about this stuff. That's why I found your channel and said, hey, people on around the world think about the same stuff I do. Before I always thought I was the only, and I know I was not the only one, but it's, you have sometimes the feeling like you're the only one in your surrounding that thinks about that stuff, and everybody does his same 8 hours work and comes back, and you sitting there and meditating and all that stuff. And but yeah, it's weird with me. Like in 2015, it started with me. I told that story to Shores, and maybe I can introduce myself to you with that, because you said in one of your videos we viewers know you a little bit because we see your videos, but you don't know us because with our icons we don't change our icon. I still have that Flower of Life icon, and
that's right.
but don't think I know what you're getting at when you say that. But I don't really want to share my, my face on YouTube, because I don't see its reason in it. If I had a real channel with real videos up there, okay. But just use it for research or for fun.
Yeah.
On YouTube most of the time,
but slowly now, you see. You're speaking with Schorsch. Maybe you'll start speaking with David. He's your fellow countryman.
Yeah, I saw you uploaded it for 2 days, I think, with the German. I didn't start to watch it, but I wanted to go there. But
yeah. And so David's a great guy also. I've spoken to him probably about 20 times. And on that particular video, he's talking about microdosing LSD. And so he's familiar with smoking weed, LSD, and, various other stuff. And, on the same path. And it's getting really nice now because you can see that there's a community. And the more the community is growing tentatively, people are saying, fuck this. I'm going to do it now. What have I got to lose?
I always commented on your videos, but I never thought, Skype conversation, and I borrowed that webcam. It's not mine, but I really wanted to have a conversation with you and Shores and some other Awakened Brave. So I said, fuck it, I borrowed that webcam, and now I try it. And
fantastic. So, do you want to give us your story then? How you came to be where you are now.
To my enlightened, how you want to call that stage. It started I would say in 2001, 9/11. I watched that and I knew immediately something is wrong. I knew, okay, something is wrong here. I have to start looking into these conspiracy theories. Yeah. But I never took it too seriously. I knew, okay, 9/11 was an inside job. And the Federal Reserve Bank and all that stuff you really easily find. And with some friends, David Icke and Erich von Däniken and some other guys, and we really liked that stuff and talked about it. But after a while, you get a little bit, boring or a little bit too depressed when you think about too much about that stuff.
Yeah, you have to. You have to sprinkle that shit amongst a broader spectrum of life,
You can't just 10 years straight just watch that stuff. You can't do that. And then I gone away a little bit, and then after 2014 it happened for me. It's so very strange. I can't. Even in German, I can't explain it to people. I tried to explain to my mother and to my friends, and I can't explain it. It's so hard, but I try. Some friend of mine showed me another conspiracy videos about a lot of that stuff I heard, Atlantis and alien stuff and other stuff. And most of that stuff I heard 10 times. But there was one information in that video where they said, it's the birth rate of humans to meditate. And I always was interested in that, but I never did it. Too lazy, I don't know, never did it. And because I heard it in that way, hey, that's my birthright, and they want to take that away from me, I don't like when people say, you can't do that. But then I do it immediately because someone said, I can't do that. But,
fuck yes!
Yeah, like that. And okay. I start after that video. I said, okay, tomorrow I'm starting meditating. Okay, I don't give a fuck. Let's start next day to meditate. Okay, and that day I woke up, and it's so strange to explain to people. It's more like Eckhart Tolle explains his spiritual line. I woke up, and everything dropped away. Everything was new. Everything was. I don't know to describe it. Everything was just great, like I was a child again, something like that. I didn't know why. I just knew, just like I had a feeling. I know something now, but my consciousness couldn't know what it is. I just knew I knew something unconsciously, but I can't make can't say what it is. I just had that feeling I knew something.
I've got to interject here because this is so beautiful, because I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've tried to convey it to people too many times, and you know, increasingly with each day, I walk down here on the beach, and there's something that's happened, and I'm in a new world, in as much that I've changed in here, and I'm looking out, and people don't bother me anymore. Nothing phases me anymore. It really doesn't matter. There's just a level of deep contentment within inside, and it's just beautiful. You just feel a completely different person. Some people would struggle believing that when they see me. You know, fuck this and fuck that. But you know, I tell people, look, I'm only acting, people. I'm doing it for you. You know, just for a laugh, just to you know, take the rise out of myself, and just to see, you know, how I can, you know, tweak the audience and get them talking. You know, what the fuck is it moves you? That's what I'm doing. And so most people, they'll misinterpret what I'm actually doing. And so okay, carry on.
Okay, and I tried to explain it to my mother. Like, I had the feeling like I was gathering all these puzzle pieces for my life. So what I did, and all these puzzle pieces, and like I woke up and I had the last puzzle piece of my life. So I put it in the puzzle, and now because my puzzle was finished, I could take a step back and saw that my life isn't finished. I saw that is an infinite puzzle. Like, I can't, like, I try to explain it. Like, I saw my life, and I could take a step back and had a broader perspective of it, and could see there's not just my life. It's just a puzzle piece of everything, and everything is just an infinite puzzle. It never stops.
Like a fractal.
Will never get.
Like a fractal.
Like a fractal. Like a fractal. It never stops, and for some people, it's when they think about or hear that stuff, it's so depressing. We never are finished, and everything just changes and everything goes on. But for me, it was quite the opposite. I was so happy with that. I just thought, so I can die tomorrow, and I don't really give a fuck. Everything is all right now, and this feeling hold it on for a whole month. I just walked like in a dream, and everything was just fine. And but I didn't know what happened to me. I never was a religious person, and I'm still not a religious person. I maybe a spiritual person now, because I meditate. Because I meditate, and I like some. But I never took religion seriously, or all that stuff, spiritual stuff. I always was the atheist. I always science and okay, that stuff, but the other stuff is just I don't know. But after that happened to me, I just wanted to know what happened to me. Science didn't make any sense anymore, and I looked into. I started to look into all of that stuff. Like, I started with psychology again. Psychology I always loved, but I started with that again, and religion. And I looked into every kind of religion I found: Buddhism, Taoism, shamanism, every kind of thing I found on YouTube. And I did the same thing. I found it's so funny to me, because you said it in your video. You did that for 5 years, just nothing, just watching YouTube videos. Going up, grocery shopping,
every single day.
And I did that in 2005. After that happened to me, my mystical spiritual experience, I don't know how to call it. I did that too. The whole end of 2014, the whole year of 2015. That's why I found your channel, because I was only in YouTube the whole fucking day. I woke up, and I did that till summer 2016. And then now I still watch a lot of YouTube videos, but I don't do it all day. Like, not. And I sometimes watch entertaining videos, not always, because for 1 or almost 2 years, just spiritual or psychology, or I don't know, people I found. I made a list what I did. So many people or videos I watch. I can show you, like, the topics was like psychology, philosophy, quantum physics, psychedelics, aliens, religion, spirituality, meditation, yoga, alchemy, mysticism, symbolic, time, fractals, holy geometry, Fibonacci sequence, New Age, chakras, chi, prana, astrology, all that stuff, law of attraction, just all that stuff, channeling, astral projection, lucid dreaming. I tried to astral project and to lucid dream, but I got frustrated after a time because it was so frustrating because I didn't make it.
Well, how long did you practice for with the astral projection?
Astral projection, I didn't really practice that much. I'm honest, I didn't really practice that much. Maybe I tried it 1 week or so.
Yeah, you
but
see.
Then, I know. It's not. I have to do it really more. I know that with lucid dreaming, I did that for, and I still have a dream journal. I did when I wake up and I still can remember a lot of that dream. I still immediately write it down. I still do that. But I did that for 2 months. Really did that. These techniques you can do. Wake up middle in the night, stay up for an hour, and then try to sleep and introduce a lucid dream. And I did that for 2 months, but because I didn't get to that stage, it was too big on my mood. I got I didn't get it today, and then again next day, and then my mood got way too bad because of it. And then,
you get frustrated with it, and you start to get negative, and this is what takes it away from you. Now, I was practicing every single day for between 1 and 2 hours for 5 months before I got my first astral projection, and I went on then to do it for almost 2 years, almost every single day and night. And what I discovered during that time was trying every single technique that you've ever heard of on YouTube. What I discovered was it was nothing to do with any method, nothing to do with any time. It was to do solely with your intention. If you intended to do it, really wanted it, and it was always on your mind, then you would do it within being in bed for 10 seconds. I've had that happen whilst I was still awake, vibrations coming all over, and almost leaving my body. Then other occasions when I've been completely awake and I've got the vibrations, I've been outside my body, and all things which most of the videos say can't happen. It happened to me, and so therefore, for me to advise anybody on this, I would say try it all, because you got to try it all. But don't rely on any method, and just know ultimately that what's going to make it work is you.
I feel that because I have the same thing with meditation. I tried so many. When I started in 2014, I started with normal silent meditation and other meditation, mantra meditation, and all that stuff. But I even got into a meditation group for half a year, and I learned some things. But I immediately know. But I have to. I always do that. I tried yoga, and I tried qigong and meditation and other things, and I don't know why, but I just use the things that work for me in meditation, and make my own meditation out of it. And even in yoga and qigong, I use just the movements I like, and not like other yogis say you have to do this yoga stance for this and this and this and this, and then you can do. No, I just use the stances I like and that feel good to me. And I use meditation practices I like and feel good to me. When there's some guru or some say, no, you're doing it wrong, and no, you do it like that and that, and I say, no, it doesn't work for me like that. I have to do it like on my way, and then
and that's it. We're all individual. We all have vastly different experiences. We attain these experiences through vastly different circumstances, and so this is the whole bullshit about TM and everything like that, and how that they just want to eradicate all other varieties of meditation, and there's only one way. Bullshit. Honestly, I can be in a very deep, profound meditation, like I'm drunk, dreaming just by standing on the ocean and just being aware of my surroundings, listening to the ocean coming in, feeling the sun on my body, slight wind, and just feeling ecstatic that I'm alive and I'm still youthful. And what a wonderful thing. And my mind is clear and, blissful. I made a video only this morning, and I haven't uploaded it because sometimes I think like people they won't feel this. You see, people in their lives, for instance, I don't know what you do, 24 hours a day, but, this is my life, and it's so very, very different to the vast majority of my viewers.
Yes, I do. That's why I think I have a lot of synchronicities with you, but because I do the same thing. I don't have a job. I have 24 hours a day to do just what I want.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to do some things for the government, like you in Britain, like you call it benefits, and we call it here in Germany, it's Hartz IV or something. It's the same thing. I have to search a job and some things like that. But most of the time, for the month, I just can do what I want, and most of the time I just let's say my routine. I wake up at, let's say, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I go grocery shopping. Then at that, I think it's a 2-kilometer walk, and then I go through a forest there. Every morning, every day, I go through that forest. I love to go through that forest, and I do in that forest a little qigong practice, and I walk there for 5 minutes barefoot every day to ground myself. And after that, I go back to home, and I make my PC on, and mostly for the rest of the day watch YouTube videos and try to learn more things.
Listen, people, I'm talking to the audience now. Listen, people, this is the way forward. This is the life. Fuck the man. The only man you want to be concerned about is this one here, or the woman, because your life is just passing you by. When you go in the woods every morning, it's such a wonderful thing, and you see the subtle changes every single day. That is a beautiful meditation in itself.
Yeah.
You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to get. Carry on. Sorry. Oh, you're frozen now. You're still there.
Unfortunately, after my experience there, and the funny thing is, I don't know where it come from, but the first months I was in that bliss phase. I call it like that bliss phase. Every day I took a big plastic bag and go through that forest and took every single trash I found in that forest. I picked up. In this month, I think I put out 6 or 7 of the big plastic bags of trash. Got it out the forest, and now it's a clean forest.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what. Maybe I didn't know why I did it, but I just want to do it. I was apologizing for Mother Earth. I don't know that at 28 years of my life, I didn't give a fuck. I just fuck that science and fuck spirituality and all fuck. And I don't know. In that bliss phase, I just felt so sorry that I just had to clean up that forest, and I did that for the whole month.
Well, you see, with me and Paul. Sometimes, we've got some bottles of water, and when Paul's finished his water, he will find a hole in a tree and put it in, or in a rock wall, a small hole, and he'll push it in like that. And I go, no, give me that here. Give me that here. He says, you can't even see it. You can't even see it. I say, I know it. Because I know it's there. It fucks with me. No, come on, bring it. And that's it. I can't stand it. I can't bear it. And it's a real strange thing that just the smallest piece of paper, me and Paul, we talk about it. We call it bad energy.
Yeah,
we say, look, there's a bit of bad energy. Or if you see a few old beer bottles, tucked under a hedge or something, it's bad energy.
You immediately feel that. When you see that, you immediately feel in yourself that doesn't feel good when you see that. You immediately know that's not right. Why laying there? And you have to, I have to put it away. And I'm just so I don't know. Some say it's a gift. Some say it's a curse. I say it's both of it. I'm such a sensitive or empathical person that sometimes it's too much. Sometimes for me,
Yeah,
like in 2015, it happened to me that I after that experience I stopped smoking cigarettes. I stopped smoking weed for that whole month. I just nothing at all. No, and I stopped drinking alcohol. I don't want to drink alcohol anymore. I still smoke weed and to do psychedelics, but no cigarettes, no alcohol, no TV, nothing of that stuff anymore. And I watched some in 2015. I watched some documentaries about the meat industry, like Earthlings and some, maybe. And I watched it, and it was so strange to me. I always was empathic, but not at that stage, because I watched that documentary and I could feel that pain of these animals, and I was crying. I watched the whole documentary and I was crying my eyes out where watching. And after that day, I said to myself, no, I can't eat meat anymore. And I'm vegetarian since then. Since 2015, I'm vegetarian, and I can't eat. I know it tastes good. I ate meat 28 years of my life, but I can't do it anymore. I know now where that animal lived, like how it lived, and I can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. It's just strange to me. Even to me, it's strange. I can't eat meat anymore.
Let me just get a word in edgeways here, because I want to make a couple of points before I forget it.
Yeah.
One of the points is, you see, what happens to us, Chris, when we have this sort of spiritual thing that puts us in this frame of mind whereby we can't stand to see rubbish in nature because it just don't work. It ain't right. There's something very, very wrong about it. And so, can you imagine if we all had this beautiful change? The world would change overnight, mate. It would become the most beautiful of places, because everybody's beautified inside, and we would just go around beautifying everything.
Yeah, I always try to say to my friends, don't try to change the world, just change yourself, just change how you see the world, and then the world changes for you. But it's hard to get to them, but I know, because I was in that phase too so long. I was in that matrix phase too, because I know these conspiracy theories, but I still didn't get it, I just had to have that experience in 2014, whatever triggered it. I don't know what it triggered. Maybe just that I wanted to meditate. Maybe that triggered it. I still don't know what it triggered.
Or maybe it was just your destiny, you see. I mean, I don't know what triggered mine. I can say my being shot in Ghana, that launched me into this path. And it was, it was a major, major trauma in my life. And so... But you see, I was studying incessantly for 2 years before I started to piece things together. I became very knowledgeable, of course, with all the information. But these little spiritual things that you get, whereby for a split second you see and understand something really, really special about this world, and then you lose it again. And, you go through periods of bliss, and I go through periods of bliss, and I know what it is. I know how you go in it, and I know how you come out of it, because I'm showing a pattern. What it is, Chris, when I'm too involved with talking and cogitating and uploading information, that's when I start to lose the blissfulness of the world, and I'll stop seeing signs. If I come back from this, and if I increase my meditation, then I can get that back, so I know what I have to do. But you see, we're torn between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me. When I meditate a lot, and when I'm a lot in nature, and when I meet my friends at the weekends, and all that's good stuff. But when sometimes I think about, I contemplate it too much, or maybe I think about it too much, and then I feel like it's just it leaves me, like it just leaves me, because I'm not in that phase, like I don't know, I'm not the kind of guy who follows gurus, not really not, but I think you can learn from them, like Osho, or like, I don't know if you know Moji.
Yeah,
Have you heard of
Mooji.
that guy?
I've just been going through a stint of Mooji's videos only yesterday. I spent 4 hours last night. Sadhguru, Krishnamurti,
So Krishnamurti, yeah.
Ram Dass.
Wait, Sadhguru, you said?
Yeah.
Alan Watts.
Alan Watts.
One of the best, I think. Eckhart Tolle, great. Moji, Sadhguru. David R. Hawkins, maybe you know of that guy?
David Hawkins.
David R. Hawkins, not the guy not Dawkins, not with D. Dawkins.
That's Richard Dawkins. Yeah.
Not Dawkins, Hawkins.
Yes.
David R. Hawkins. It's I don't know if you know that. Krishnamurti, Thich Nhat Hanh, maybe you're Buddhist monk. And they have great stuff. I don't follow them. I don't like guru and say everything. No. But when you listen to them and they say to you everything is like, when I meditate myself and I feel sometimes it's very strange. I had that with Alan Watts. Like in 2015, I had that experience, and I watched religion videos and psychology videos, and a lot of I don't know why, but a lot of Terence McKenna videos. And I found it's awesome what they're saying. And then I found Alan Watts video. I think it was the second time I watched the Alan Watts video. And I just thought, what is he trying to say me? I don't really understand what he means. And okay, I don't understand it. And I got back to other psychology stuff and a lot of Terence McKenna stuff. But after, I think 2 months after that, I just got back to that Alan Watts video. And I watched that video, and I immediately know. I heard the same stuff, but I know what he meant by it. You know, like sometimes even extreme. I had it with Krishnamurti. I just the first videos I looked for him as I don't know. This guy is, I don't know, maybe arrogant or a little bit too naive, or I don't know. But after a while, I watched the same video again, and then it clicked. I just that's what he meant by it, not that what my ego wants to think. No, he meant to look at that perspective. And sometimes I recognize that sometimes myself, my ego just sends in my own way, just not so. No, you're not ready for it. Wait it, and okay, video
exactly,
and a month later, you watch the same video, and hey, now I know what you meant.
So this is why I quite regularly make a video about the great importance to listening.
Yeah.
And because I saw a very moving video of Krishnamurti. It's a black and white one. It's kind of like early 60s. And he's saying, listen, really, really listen. And it captivated me because I'd listened to Krishnamurti many times before, but he's a very difficult person to understand because he's speaking at a different level. It's another level. It's not at a level of the ego. And so I was mesmerized by what he said, but I couldn't decipher what he really said, but I knew the vibration was good. So I persisted. And then I think it's about a year later, then watching many others. And what it was for me, it was Osho. The penny dropped with Osho. And I got it, and I saw it, and it all became so very, very clear. And so it doesn't matter which one you get it from. Alan Watts has never touched me in any shape or form. I can't even stand to listen to him, really. I don't think he's got anything to say that any of the other Eastern gurus have, and they say it better. They've got more mysticism about them. They've got more of a character. Alan Watts, you know, he was a heavy drinker, a heavy smoker. It all came out in his voice, his raspy, and I just thought, this guy is almost a lost drunk, and yet people think he's a guru.
The funny thing is, because he was a heavy drinker and he has all this thing, that's what make him even more sympathetically for me, because I don't like people that are like you think I can't watch like Infinite Waters. I can't watch
Oh
this
no
guy.
no
They're
no
like,
no no no
oh,
no.
peace and love, my friend. You can't. It's so fake to me because I don't believe he goes grocery shopping and the cashier says to him, £2.50, and see, yeah, please, can I get a hello? Or what the
Yeah.
fuck? It's so fucking fake, and that's why I watch you, because I think you're honest. I feel like you're really trying to say something. You're really trying to be honest with us viewers, and not just putting here, oh yeah, I have 10 new rules for being more spiritual, and I don't like that either. I can't stand that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird. People are weird. There's a lot of like I call them false prophets in the New Age movement.
Absolutely,
A lot.
full of false prophets. You see, what I'm really enjoying about what I do, and many people have tried to compromise what I do, because I've upset many people with my opinions,
Yeah.
and I just say, I all the time, I say, if I'm upsetting you, don't blame me. Blame you, because it's this stuff that's upsetting you. It's nothing to do with what I'm saying. It's how you're perceiving it, because there's going to be 100 people out there who ain't touching. So it's not what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
what's going on inside your head.
What-
So you've got work to do, buddy.
Yeah, that's what it's funny. It's still a synchronicity between you and me, because I always say to my friends when they say, oh, you don't eat meat anymore, and oh, you don't drink alcohol anymore. And sometimes they try to get to me like that on a personal level, but I don't let it get to me. And I always say to them, that's just your own projecting. You're projecting your own shit on me. And that's what they don't get. You can say that 10 times to them and say, it's okay. And they still have that projecting still onto you, the same bullshit, and you can't. Sometimes it's really frustrating.
You see, what people like you and I, we sometimes need to check ourselves with is that we're very versed in psychology. It's immensely important. I know some people that are not versed in psychology, and they've been on the spiritual path equally as long, and still they're running around like a headless chicken. They don't know what the fuck's going on. They get deep depression, frustration, and I say simply because, mate, I mean, one guy in particular, I say, you still think it's going on out there. It isn't going on out there. It's all going on inside here. And unless you know what's going on inside here, you will never decipher what you're interpreting from the world. And so this is a very, very fundamental and massively important thing. But these people in the street, they haven't got a clue. If you say projecting, they don't know. It just goes straight over their heads.
They don't know what you're saying. It's just, but sometimes I can't really, I know in the beginning I was really getting upset by that. I really got angry at them. But nowadays I just contemplate more of it, and I just think I was the same way, like let's say 6-7 years ago, it was the same way. Maybe I knew some conspiracy theories, but I was still the plain matrix people like that all around me. And just because I don't know what it triggered, maybe it just was grace from God, I don't know. But it triggered something in me in 2015, and then it clicked, everything clicked. It was such a strange year. 2015 was such a strange year for me. After that year, I always say to everyone who asks me, I don't believe in coincidence anymore. So much fucking stuff happened to me. So much synchronicities happened to me that I can't logically explain it to myself. Oh, it just was just a coincidence. I can't explain that to me. It's just too.
And also, you see, if you dismiss it, Chris, as coincidence, you are throwing away that beautiful snippet of information which is vital to you. You have to deeply concentrate on this synchronicity. You have to sit down, meditate on it. What does that mean? Why did it come about? Really try to embody it, because it's
like Moji said, try to marinate in it. Try when you get it, try to marinate. Stay with it. Stay with it. Marinate in it. Just don't. One experience or just one coincidence. No, stay with it. Just really try to understand that. It's hard to say, but maybe it sounds cynical, but you don't fucking exist. Your mind doesn't exist. Your ego doesn't exist. This body doesn't. Nothing really exists. Just one subtle energy in the background, that is what you is, and that's what exists. But it's so strange to explain it to yourself. How can you explain it to other people? You have to experience that. I really think you have to have at least one experience in that. If you don't have an experience in that, it's all just talk. It's all just, you can believe that it's true, but you never know that it's true.
You got all these experiences. And you see, when I had this video, when I did this video about this leaf falling out of the tree one day, when I was on Amanita Muscaria, and, I said it was like an angel, it was God, or it didn't look like an angel, it looked like a fucking tree, but something just went, that's everything. That's God. Just that. I knew it was. And I said, please tell me, people, have you had any of these experiences? And a few people says, oh yeah, when I was walking in the snow and this, that and the other, when I'm walking in the wood, or, one day this and that. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. But so many people, you see, we all have these sort of things. I would think we all have the potential at least. But what 99.9% of the people do, they just dismiss it as, that was fucking weird. And they don't give it any thought. They don't recognize the sign.
Yeah, they're still in their programs. They're still in their programs that, that's just a coincidence. I just saw that in my eye. No, it wasn't real. I just imagined it. It's just fantasy.
Yeah, you see, these small signs of when God is trying to speak with you.
Yeah, I have synchronicities every day since 2014. Every day I have synchronicities. At least once at a license plate at a car, I see 111 or 333 or something like that. Every day I have a synchronicity since then. Since 2014, I have every day at least one.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of with you. Funny thing is, I do that myth-busting to myself. And I have that word, and I did sun gazing for half a year last year, and I can say some things about it. It's like I can confirm things like you don't have any hunger anymore after a while. Really, after I did that a week or two, I just didn't have any hunger anymore. I still eat it because I knew my body needs some nutrition, but I just eat it because I knew I had to eat, not because I wanted to eat. And I did that and after, in winter in Germany, it's you can't sun gaze. You can only sun gaze in spring and in summer here. Yeah. Like in Britain, too much clouds. But I stopped last year winter, and I don't know if I start this year again, but it has some benefits. You feel that sometimes you're really after you sun gaze like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and you come back and you feel really energized and really happy. Maybe it's all that serotonin, what's going on in your body chemically, I don't know. But like other people say in YouTube, you get like superhuman, I don't know, fucking bullshit. Nah, that's too extreme.
Rudimentary. I believe that there is truth in it, and like I said, but if you're out in the sun every day, if you live in the place like I do now, where it's clear blue skies almost all day long, and you're out in it, then you are getting these photons in your eyes. You are feeling great, and it's all wonderful. All you got to do is come down south towards the equator to live in a country, and you'll see the transformation of the people, Chris. People in Northern Europe, they're closed, they're boring, they're non-responsive. They're not fucking human beings. They're all closed automata. When they come down, people are living. They're living their lives. They're full of the photons. And so I believe that I know God is the sun. Sun is the God. It's the creator. Without the sun, there would be nothing. And it's just that I like to have a go at the New Ages because they need shaking up in any stupid notion that they've got, because it's all fantasy.
I have the same thing with extremism. I don't know, extremism. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's extremism. It's like I'm a vegetarian, but I'm not. I don't like these extreme vegans who say, "Oh, you can't eat meat. Oh, it's so murder." And I think, oh man, that's so fucking extreme in that direction, or in that other direction. I really am for the equality of. I really think a woman is the same worth as man, really equal. But some feminists are really driving it to the top, like, oh no, everything is wrong with men, and men are everything wrong with men. And I don't like why everyone has to go into the extreme. Why just, like Buddha said, choose the middle way. Just try to stay balanced in everything you do. Like, yeah, try to eat more healthy, but you don't have to make fun of the people that eat still meat. Let them eat meat when they want meat. I don't get it. Why are we always judging other people for things they do because we want to do what they do, or they can do that and I can't do that. Now I'm envy at them, and now I try to make that wrong, or what you're doing is wrong.
I mean, you see, what I think it is, if you're easygoing, like you've just conveyed, then it's kind of like you don't have any real opinions either way, because you know that what this world is about, and you just see it, and ultimately it's all going to level off itself. It's like if you look at the ocean on a rough day, the waves are going up and down like that. A wise man looks at it and goes, tomorrow it will be calm. It will sort itself out. But you see, people, when they want to take things to the extreme, I'm sure it's because they're getting off on their own empowerment, because they think they know something. They think they can talk down to people, or if they're quite informed about a certain subject, then they can put people right, and they put themselves on a pedestal. Look at all religions. They always end up this same guru-ish way. And I think anybody that takes anything to an extreme, they're just bolstering their own ego, because they're not satisfied with themselves, and so therefore they want to kid themselves that they are better than everybody else for some respect, and in actual fact they're lacking inside.
And they maybe think that I'm what I've learned is right and everything else is wrong, and I'm finished with learning. That's, I think, most of the problem a lot of people have. They studied something and they think, no, now I'm finished. I'm with that topic. I'm finished. I know everything about it. And because they think that way, they stop learning. They stop learning because they think, I'm finished. I'm right. What I say is right. What you say is wrong. I'm finished. I have studied this in school, blah, blah, blah. And you say some rational thing. Maybe look at this perspective. And they get immediately their ego builds up a wall and say, no, I'm right. Fuck you. You're wrong. I've learned that in school. You just watched a YouTube video. You're just
this is the thing, you see, with Chris, with the education system, because it keeps people channeled on one trajectory, and they're steer cleared from deviating from that trajectory. Here's the curriculum. You stay by this curriculum, because this is the goal that you're going to get to at the end. You see, by the time they've invested thousands of pounds, dollars, or Deutschmark, whatever, euros, and a lot of years, their ego, their whole survival won't allow them to be compromised on that. Because if they're compromised on it, then they've got to say that they've wasted £30,000, they've wasted 7 years of their fucking life, and they don't really know anything about this world.
I have the same problem with like a uncle of mine, and he's I don't know the English word when you're 60 or older and you don't have to work anymore. Retirement, yeah. And he's in retirement, and then I just thought, hey, maybe he's retired. But let's talk about the Federal Reserve Bank just a little bit, just a little bit to just nudge him in the right way. Maybe the whole money thing is not so important, but he's retired. Maybe he has an open mind now. But exactly the different was the case. It was I tried to convey to him that money isn't real, just paper and there are numbers on it, and you believe there's worth in it, but there is no worth. It's just fucking paper, nothing more. And you just your whole life believed I have to need this. I need this for my survival, but you don't really need money for survival. But after a while, he got so mad at me that no, you're just crazy. And I really felt in him he doesn't want to acknowledge that just maybe I'm right, because when maybe I'm right, his 60 years of working 60 years, doing, and now he's retired, and now his nephew comes and say, maybe you worked for the man, but you not worked for yourself. Whole 60 years, maybe for some paper, but it's not really. Like, I try to make it as soft as possible to explain it to him, but even that he blocked so immediately up and said, no, that is not true. It's just a conspiracy, all conspiracy. I said, that's not conspiracy. You can go on your laptop and Google that stuff. Federal Reserve Bank and that stuff. That's not a conspiracy. You can read it.
Simply, if you just mention to him that there is no gold standard anymore, so therefore all the currencies in the world, they don't pertain to anything of any value. They don't have any intrinsic value. So therefore, that speaks for itself. Money isn't worth nothing unless the control mechanism of the mind
you believe
instills that it is. That's right. And it's just a perpetual lie.
Yeah, but when you tell that to someone who worked 60 years of his life for that, and you tell him that was all a lie for what you worked, of course he's
what about this scenario then, Chris? For instance, you could say to him, look, if you think that money is fucking worth anything, right, get on a plane, go to like Papua New Guinea or go to the Amazon jungle, say bring all your life savings, right, and see how much its value is respected. Go into the Amazon jungle with your briefcase and go, I'm hungry, do you want to exchange some of this for some of that fish? See how many fish you'll get.
It's funny, but for a lot of people it's not funny. For me it's funny, but a lot of people, you can't say these things, it's too cynical, you're too sarcastic, too ironical, and I think it's funny. I have a good sense of humor, I think. I can even laugh about myself, so I can't take myself so seriously, even if I'm doing some spiritual stuff. I don't say, oh no, I'm so spiritual and I'm so enlightened. I think, like Krishnamurti said it himself, the person who says, I'm enlightened, is not enlightened, because immediately the person who says he's enlightened, he doesn't understand what enlightenment is, because he says I'm enlightened. You didn't understand it. It's like quantum physics. The person who says I understand quantum physics doesn't understand quantum physics. Nobody understands quantum physics. But there are a lot of people who really say, no, I don't. I understand it. I'm so intelligent, or I'm so spiritual, far away, and I can't take seriously these people. I can't take them seriously.
And so when I do a video every so often, that I want to lower people's estimation of me is very important, because I think the worst thing that ever could happen to anybody is that people build them up like these fucking gurus.
Yeah, like
And
that.
even like Muji, I think he's a great guy.
Yes.
But if I met Muji, I'd go, Muji, for fuck's sake, stop allowing these people to lick your fucking boots. It's ridiculous.
He even said. Yeah, he even said it himself, Muji. He doesn't like that people want to touch his feet. But he said it's a spiritual practice, and when they want to do that, okay, they can do that. But he even said himself, I don't want that people touch my feet. I don't. You can hug me. He said it himself. You can hug me, but don't touch my feet. But some people are, spiritual. I have to touch his feet.
I know. And so, you see, I don't want anybody to ever have any sort of attachment to me. And so therefore, I will put myself down. I will hurt all the viewers some way. I will find a way to sever that attachment. Because what I'm saying is, don't ever get attached to me, right? Just get attached to your own mind. That's all you've got to do. And if you grow through stages whereby you start liking me, I say there's going to come a day when you are going to change your mind, because I'm going to make sure that fucking happens. You know? And then when you've changed your mind and you go, I don't like him anymore, he's a fucking idiot. If you are really a spiritual seeker, then you will be reflecting on that and you'll go, what's going on here? He's done it to me. He's touched my ego and he's brought this response out, and now I feel stupid. I've got to look at myself, and then they'll come back. They're the people I want, Chris.
Yeah. In one video, you almost triggered me. Once you almost triggered me once. Yeah. I don't know. It was I think it was last year. It was shortly after your patient video. I just know you make a video about your patient, and a video after that where you I don't know, you was because you, I think you still was a little bit emotional because of the patient, and then you're ranting about still at the same place. You were still at the same place and you're ranting about some stuff. I didn't know what it was, but you really was ranting and ranting and ranting, and I just watching that. I don't know what has happened to Aaron. Sometimes he tries to like motivate people and share his stories, and then now he's just ranting and ranting and ranting, and I even I even feared for you that you drop back into the matrix, like you say. But 3-4 videos after that, you even apologized for that, for your whole ranting stuff, and so I immediately knew just was something inside of me that was triggered about your ranting, because it was I think it was the same stuff I get so frustrated about the people around me. You call them automata, I call them matrix people, because sometimes I walk through the city, and I live in a village, but sometimes I go to the city and I see the people walking there, and they're just watching at their cell phones. Everybody just watching at their fucking cell phones. Maybe 3 people I see the whole day looking straight. The whole city just fucking zombies. Oh, my WhatsApp. Oh, what's Facebook? Oh, next thing. And I just really sometimes I get frustrated. I know it's not me, and it's just my ego that's responds to that, and it's not. But sometimes I really get frustrated when I see that, and I have nobody to really talk about these things. Like I have to apologize to Shores even too, because I talked a lot to him. I said it to he even stopped me and said, "Hey, Christoph, you talk a little much now," and I even apologized. Yeah, it's like sometimes I have the feeling there's someone who listens, and when I have someone like you, I have someone who listens. Then sometimes it just explodes out of me. Hey, there's someone who listens, and I could talk hours, days.
Yeah,
it's great. Oh, I don't know, like.
Well, hopefully, some of the other viewers will want to engage with you, because we've gone through a lot of stuff in this video and determined that you are familiar with many subjects, and so many people can engage you on a whole broad spectrum, and you can talk, and so this is what we want. We want people engaging with each other, and you see. I mean, what I'm doing now with these introductory videos, I'm kind of like discovering who my viewers are.
Yeah.
It's been so long overdue. If I don't know my audience, how do I know how to engage with them? You know, that's why you know, my videos, like, one's over here, one's over there, one's over here, and people are thinking, what is this multi-personality, you know, guy? Why don't we stick to one subject?
I like that about you, that you don't stick at one subject. It would be too boring for me when you just psychedelics, or just psychology, or just meditation. It would be okay. Not really. Too many of that YouTube channels, just one thing, and that's why like I said, I have that frustration that I can't really share that knowledge. I don't know, like Socrates said, I don't know that I really know anything. I really don't know anything, really. Yeah. I believe that. I don't know really anything, really. But still, that stuff I believe I know, I want to share, of course. And there's but nobody is around to share, because everybody just wants, just like Matrix stuff, like
So what you've got to do, what everybody has to do, they have to find themselves a Paul. You know, because me and Paul buddying up, that was such an amazing experience, and to this day, it's we both profess that it just had to be that there was something that you know, the whole universe, you know, arranged that, and so every single day we used to go out 4 times a week, and every time we'd go out, we'd be going out for about 5 or 7 hours, and we never ever stopped talking, and this is how we are, you know, even to this day. And so this is a beautiful thing, because you've got to have a sounding board, you've got to have somebody to, you know, run it by you, and
some reflection, some mirror that's mirroring you, because you can contemplate yourself so much, you can meditate and contemplate yourself so much, but still, even when I talk to my friends about some very basic stuff, and even then I sometimes recognize myself, hey, there's something new I didn't know about, or I didn't know I was projecting that, or I didn't know I still had that program in me. I wouldn't find that myself out. I had to talk to another person to reflect.
That's right. And so when Paul and I, we predominantly we go into nature, but every now and again we go, let's go into the city. Let's go to London, or let's go to York, or let's do something, and we immerse ourselves within the matrix, and we look at it, and we feel it, and we contemplate it, and we converse over it, and it's beautiful to have someone that can see the same shit but also sees other shit that you don't see, and then you go, fucking hell, I didn't see that. Now you've pointed it out. You see what it is? It's like Paul and I, we'd go walking down, say, like a high street in town, and Paul would be pointing out certain things, and I would be seeing very, very different things. And I ask him about his mindset. What is it that his mind seeks out these things? What is it that my mind seeks out other things? We've got the same eyes, we're walking in the same place, and yet we see in a different world.
Yeah.
We're seeing different meaning in everything. And then we talk about all this, and, you know, you can see I'm getting animated. It's fantastic. It's brilliant.
Even when I watch your videos with Paul, even I can feel that your chemistry of both of you guys is really working. It's like when you guys make jokes, I watch that video and I laugh when I know what you mean when you say that. You feel really that you guys really connect. That you guys are really I don't know, made for each other. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
called
but
weird.
you see, it goes further than that, and I'm saying this just about in every one of these Skype videos because there's something magic. Look what's happened, Chris. I didn't know you from Adam. You've had the benefit of knowing something about
Yeah.
my character, but
Yeah.
we've engaged, and we can barely get a word in edgeways. We've
Yeah.
got so much to say, and
yeah.
this is the beauty. What's happened? We've met each other in this very, very thin frequency, whereby 99 point whatever, they're outside of this frequency. And when
Yeah.
you get in that frequency, then you have this. You have
Yeah.
this affinity, this marvelous, very, very gratifying, satisfying, satiating. It's just a wonderful absorption of energy that it gives you. We're pulling energy out the universe.
Yeah, and good that you remember me, but because I always wanted to say that to you, because I couldn't say that to you, that you gave me some strength. I don't know, maybe bad accent. Strength, you know what I mean? Strength.
Yeah.
Strength. Sorry. It was it was in 2015 or beginning 2016. You made a video because you was a little confused yourself. You asked us viewers, maybe I'm gone too far with psychedelics. Some people say I'm going too far with psychedelics. Some people say I'm going too far with this. Some people, and I really felt that you really was a little bit confused about that.
I think the video was called "Can We Know Too Much?"
Maybe it was that. I don't know. But the funny thing is, I really felt that you was confused, and I felt that no, you're on the right track. Don't get confused. Don't let people talk shit to you. And I immediately comment to you, no, don't let. What was it? I commented, don't give a fuck what other people think about you. I don't think you did too much psychedelics. I just think you are on the right path of finding the truth. Or something like
I
that.
remember that comment.
Yeah, and you replied to that. Thank you, dude. You gave me strength. And your reply to that you replied to me that thank you, dude. You gave me strength. Gave me strength. That you replied to me back.
Yeah.
It was so funny to me that. He's confused. No, he doesn't have to be confused. He's on the right track, and I have to comment. He's on the right track, and so you comment back. Hey, you gave me strength. Thank you that you commented, and that gave me strength again. Like it's like you gave something to me. I wanted to give it back to you, and you gave it still back to me. Like it still gave me strength. Your comment.
And so
was,
even those words, you see, those words, they're in a certain vibration.
Yeah.
Also, and even though those words, if they were written, and many other people read them, they wouldn't have that. But because we are in this vibration, when we transfer our thoughts into the language that we speak in, then the resonance pertains to it.
Yeah.
And I knew. Many people could interpret that in many different ways, but you know, I took something very, very particular for me and meaningful to me, and then you did also, and so this is something that we've got going on as well, because many people say I'm speaking their words. You're speaking my words.
Yeah. It's sometimes like I said, I have a lot of synchronicities with you. Some like the funny thing is some things I missed busted 2 or 3 months before you, and some things I see you missed busting, and I try it for myself, and yeah, Aaron is right. I try it. I have same results. Yeah, thank you. Same results, and like the urine therapy. I did that 2 months before you. I tried that out,
Right.
and I have the same. I did that for a month, and then I don't know. It doesn't really bring maybe it's working for other people, it doesn't work for me. And 2 months after that I saw your video. I'm misbusting that urine bullshit, and it was so funny to me because I immediately knew he will have the same results I have, and you did have the same results I have.
Yeah.
It's funny to me that for me it's so many synchronicities that I can't I just can't tell myself that there is a coincidence in this universe. Like I wanted always to thank you for the Skype conversation with Abby Norman, the channeler.
Yeah.
After that, I subscribed to her channel. I almost watch every video of her since then.
Right.
Because I watch a lot of channeler, but I have the same feeling like you always said. I don't know, strange feeling about them. Only Bashar and only Krista, right? I don't know if you know her, Krista Reiser. The only two channelers. The only two channelers I have a feeling that they are honest. There's something more to them.
Yes.
And the only feeling I had by Abby, I have that too. By Abby, I watched videos of her. I watched your conversation with her, and I immediately felt that no, Abby is some of the rare channelers sometimes you can listen to. Not you shouldn't take everything so seriously what she's saying or what every channeler is saying, but sometimes it resonates with you.
I mean, because Abby, she has a beautiful demeanor about her, and it's very, very believable. What she's saying, and she isn't forecasting anything. She isn't making any premonitions. She's feeling your energy, and she's trying to interpret your energy, how she interprets it, and whether you are in allegiance with it or what. But you see, there's a couple of things in there which she said, which I really felt. I had there was something there, and
it resonated.
I really liked it, and I keep meaning that I'm going to be speaking with her again, because apparently she's moved now. She's got a new background, and there's a few more things that's sort of gone forward on her channel. But and Bashar, you see. I don't have any objection to him saying that he is the voice of a human being in an alien form 300 years in the future.
In the future,
yeah. I mean, if it is, okay, great, sounds fantastic. But I listen to his words, you see, and it's the words that he says, and everything that relates to. He's either an extremely well-read person, or he is channeling. I can't make up my mind. But what he says has got value, and so I listen to the guy.
It's the same with me. It's just some people. It's like you said in some videos. I think it's 2 months ago or something, where you said you just watch the videos, and when you try to listen, you really try to put away all your programs, all your bullshit ego stuff, all away, and just listen. And when you do that, you really you feel that. You feel it really, like we said before, like in like Krishnamurti or something, Alan Watts, or like I have. So you watch that, and when you try just logically to understand it, you don't really understand it. But when you just listen and try to feel it, it resonates. Some things resonate. Some things they say, it's just clicking in you. I can't describe it. It's just clicking in you. Now I know how it's meant.
And also, what I speak about is when it doesn't work for you like that, then double listen.
Yeah.
I go to myself, if I get feeling objectional about something, I go, okay, right, sit down. I close my eyes. I start the video again, and I listen. And I feel, and I try to get into a meditative state so I can put all thoughts behind. And I say to myself, how do I feel this person? And what do I think this person's really trying to say? And then it helps you a great deal. And then you may discover that there was something obviously pertaining to your ego, which just found whatever it was objectionable. And so you this is as far as most people get. They just go, fucking bullshit. And I've said time and time again, even in the video only last week, a few days ago, I said it's not the ones that you think are great, because they're not great, because you already know that. Right? It's the ones that you don't think are great, the ones that where you want a fucking thumbs down. They're the ones you want to be paying attention to, because that's where you're going to be growing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because sometimes I have that even with your videos. I don't know the video, but I see the
comments.
No, not the comments. The name of the video. I just see the name of the video, and you call it sometimes a little bit. Sometimes just I know you want to get the point through that people click on it a little bit like clickbait.
Yeah.
And you do that, and at least I read the name of the video, and I think I don't know if that interests me. And then when that happens, I immediately why I don't want to watch that video of Aaron? Why I don't want to? And then I immediately watch it, and then. In these videos, I always have something that I can take for myself. Always.
Yes, now that's very important. Let me see if I can broach that, because I think I may know why it is. Let me run it by you. What I do is, when I want all of my viewers to watch, I will say something like, all my viewers, please watch it, or must watch. I do that one. Or I'll put danger in there, because everybody will click on the one that says danger. And I put like danger about TM. There's nothing dangerous, you know, but you've got to fucking wake people up. You've got to shake them. And so what I do that if there's something I really want everybody to see. But you see, with the esoteric stuff, I know that my viewers look at the title. They don't want clickbait, because if it is clickbait, like you're going to be thinking that's too broad for me. It won't mean anything to it. If it's going to be appealing to everybody else, I don't want to listen to that, because I'm more, channeled.
I don't like the mainstream stuff. I don't like. But always when I watch these videos, I always get something from it. I always get something from it. Especially these videos, I don't want to click. Yeah. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's just my ego that no, don't watch that video. Don't watch that. That is okay, but don't watch that video. And then I always think, why I can't watch that? And then I immediately watch that.
What lesson do you derive from that? I mean, have you caught sort of? I mean, is it the same every time now? When you see must watch,
no.
What's happened in your heart now?
It depends on the video, on the topic on the video. Sometimes it's just something. So you say something about, I don't know, some stuff, some normal stuff, and I think, okay. I don't think that way, and then after a while that video goes down, and then you explain why you said that, and then that's why you said, and that's why and then it resonates with me, and then now I know why Aaron said it that way, and that's why he to choose that title of the video. And just because our ego, I think, or I believe, for me, it's just my ego just knows before I watch the video, that's not good for my ego. Right. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and my ego wants to be strengthened, and I don't want my ego, strong ego like that. And my ego says, no, don't watch that, because my ego immediately knew before I watched that video. When he watches that video, he learns something about me, the ego, and I have immediately less power over him, and I try to take as much power back from the ego to myself, to my real self, to not my ego. And maybe I still have some programs inside of me that say, no, don't watch that, don't watch that, and that is okay, don't watch that. And immediately when I see that, I must watch that, because my ego said, don't watch that.
So what I do is if I've watched several of somebody's videos, and I've liked the vast majority or all of them, I don't even look at the title. I'm not interested in the title because the title may dissuade you. And so I was just watching. I've always got Bill Donahue up on my toolbar, and I've got like Osho up on my toolbar, and several others. And I click in between. I'll watch an hour of one, and then I'll go on to the other one. And you see, I look down at the click counts, and on one of Bill Donahue's ones, it's got something like referring to, so we're all getting stoned. Now, what he was referring to, you see, this was like what's the termination? It didn't mean people click on it because they're thinking, oh, he's talking about the apostles getting stoned now, and no, he's not, and he's not even talking about violence. So if you're clicking on it to hear about violence, he's not. He's talking about metaphor, because everything that Bill Donahue talks about is metaphor. But I saw that it was like over 12,000 when all the other videos only got 3,000, 4,000, and this is how people's fucking minds bend their reality. And I guarantee that they would have clicked on it, and just because they couldn't get their great satisfaction of blood or drugs within the first 30 seconds, they would move off it. I've often thought, you see, when I do my when I put my titles up, I don't think about it. It just comes. I just know what I'm going to call it, and the first thing I think about, that's it. I'm not trying to scrutinize it. I'm not trying to, will this deter people? Will this click, bait people? No, whatever it is, because I want to be true to myself. I want to be true to the message, and I want to be true to you people who know now about how I work. And you'll be seeing that, and I'm pretty sure that when people like you look at my titles, you start to think, does it really mean that? Is there a hidden clue in there or something? And then, like you said, you'll see at the end where now I understand. This is it. You see, this is like a good author that makes stories. Initially you think like, I know how this is going to end. You'll read the first half of it and you think you know the end, and then there's always a twist, isn't there? And then, like, it's kind of like, fucking hell, that was great. I couldn't see that coming. I've even thought what I will probably do in the not too distant future is not even title them at all, just number.
Something like that.
Because I think that, look, if I've got a following, like now, there's 200-300 regular every day. As soon as I put a video up, 300. I think I don't need to try to explain what I'm talking about. I think it'd be probably more interesting for people not to know, just to click on it without even knowing. And then go into it as a pleasant surprise.
It's a good idea. I think it's important that you really like you do, really try to be as honest. Like, I really think, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you're really trying to be honest, really try to share your experience with us. And that's what comes on to what I feel when I see your videos. I really feel, okay, this guy really tries to share his experience with us. He's not trying to, hello, like Infinite Waters and lots of other people. And I can't watch these people, but as long as you stay, like we would say, like real as you are. Authentic. As long as you stay authentic, it doesn't matter how you tell your videos. It doesn't matter how many people watch your videos. It just stay authentic. Just stay real. And people, like you said, in that small range of frequency, they will get attracted to you.
Yes.
They will.
Yeah.
And that's what you want, I hope. So you want only people that are in your frequency.
Absolutely. And this is why I purposely upset everybody, because it's very important, Chris, that I don't want to lead people on into them thinking that I'm something that I'm not.
No.
If people can't see that Infinite Waters isn't this fucking happy gollywog, every single of the moment of the day, if they can't see that, then they want their eyes testing. It's a facade. It's a money making scam. I want to see him put up a video, fucking and cussing one day when his girlfriend's gone and shagged somebody else. Whatever. I want him to talk some reality, but he won't do that, and so I can never ever I won't feel comfortable with an audience like that, and so. Even though most times I'm kind of more subtle with trying to upset people. For instance, when I talk about Maharishi Yogi, I know what's going to happen if I mention queer. But every time I talk about Maharishi, I always mention queer. Because if there's anybody out there that is remotely going to be offended about somebody, calling a nigger, then they're going to be gone. And I go, thank you, because you have no value to me whatsoever. Yeah. I want open-minded people, and I want people to look at my videos and go, he's just having a fucking crack. He's free, and that's why I like him. He says what the fuck he wants to say.
Yeah. That's I can't stay. Like a lot of people of my friends say I contradict myself because I have these like a hippie topic, like I love Mother Nature and that stuff. I love psychedelics, and a lot of people, you're a new age hippie, but I still watch some videos on YouTube, like really hard kind of black humor, like Filthy Frank or something. I don't know if you know him, but really most of the people can laugh about that stuff.
Who is that?
Filthy Frank. It's very hard kind of, very weird kind of humor, or like, I don't know. I like that edgy stuff. I don't know. I like black humor. I really can laugh about anything. I don't like when people say you can make fun of that, but you can't say that. That is no. These people are triggered. Oh my God, you have said. You make fun of fat people, and now every fat people hates you or something bullshit like that. I think it's so stupid. We can make fun of everything, I think. Open-minded people know that it's a joke. It's not really serious meant. It's just, I make fun of fat people or something like that, but it was a joke. I don't really meant that. But the most people get really, like again, wieder their ego comes up and, oh no, I take that personally, you can't say these things.
Yeah, and what society would we live in if you can't say anything about skinny people, fat people, black people, yellow people, short people, tall people, ugly people? We wouldn't have nothing else to say, would we?
There's the freedom of choice when you can't say anything anymore. You can. Everything is just no. You can say that these people are triggered, and you can say that these people are triggered. Come on, it's just a joke. No, you can't say a joke anymore. What? I don't get it. All these social justice warriors. I get so stupid. I know when you really try, sometimes they have good intentions, like feminists. They, of course, we are equal, generally equal. I really believe that, and I really stay with that. Like Krishnamurti said, I don't believe in nationalism. Maybe I was born in Germany, but I don't identify myself as a German. I identify myself as a human being on Earth.
Yeah.
And I don't identify with any kind of religion or any kind of that stuff. I don't like dogma. I really hate dogma, any kind of dogma. I really don't like that. But some people are just, I don't know, you can't say that to them. They're just ego again, and no, you can't say that, and that's, or you say,
and so we can, and so what I'm endeavouring to do is to test all the parameters of people's dogma, and I want the ones that really are trying to self-actualize to look at themselves and go, that's another one I don't need, That's another one I don't need, and I want them to keep coming forward. And that way, then, we can have this community of people that are not going to be offended by jokes and, you know, things that we say when we're upset and, you know, this, that, and the other. You know, we just got to reduce this ego. And we just got to go, that's funny. Or if we don't think it's funny, then we'll get some benefit from it because we're thinking, oh, right. Why did I feel like that? Why did that person say that? And then you go and sit down and you'd have a good couple of hours contemplating the philosophy of it. And you get something from it that way. There's something to be gained from everything. Why do we fucking dismiss all this stuff and not gain anything?
Yeah, it's strange. It's really... I think it's really programmed into us that we think that way. Really, like we are really meant. I don't want to go too extreme into some conspiracy theories because, of course, David Icke says this was the reptilians, and some others says no, it was this kind of race, and some others says no, the Earth is flat. Some people say no, it's hollow from inside. We can philosophize or speculate of these things a lot, but no one from us knows really if it's true. Nobody. We just believe if it's true, or maybe we don't believe it's true. We can say we know these things.
Yeah.
It's the Earth is flat, or it's hollow, or it's reptiles, or it's not reptiles, or it's I don't know. I don't know these things. I just contemplate these things, and I like to think about these things. I philosophize of these things, and I like to discuss these topics. But with most of the people, you can't discuss about these things. As soon as you say aliens, just aliens, they block. No, fucking aliens. No,
yeah.
aliens.
It's ridiculous. You see, look, Carl Jung, he wrote a book about. I think it is entitled "Flying Saucers," and basically his perspective of it that it's a facet of our psyche that creates these things. Because
Terence McKenna said the same thing. Terence McKenna said the same thing.
Because you look, what happens is that these things that we see, they change, they evolve. It used to be silver, shining, flying saucers, and within the space of 20 years, now it's because in our armed forces and the navies, the Air Force, we've got stealth fighters, and they're all these dull black triangle things. Now the flying saucers have gone fucking dull black triangle. You know, so what aliens copying us? Really?
I don't think so. I really believe it's straight. I believe aliens are. We have something to do with aliens. Even in the evolutionary theory, when the jump is too big from Homo erectus to Homo sapiens, they say there's a too big of an evolutionary gap, and I really believe something was done. I don't know what. But I really think something in our history. A lot of our history is other than we think it is.
You know what I think? There's loads of things we can talk about, Chris, and I really look forward to it. And what I'd like to do is kind of like, you know, do it once a week, every 7 days, so it keeps it fresh and stops the audience getting bored or whatever. But I'd like to choose topics. But this video, it's 1 minute 36, so we've got another like 25 minutes to bring it up to 2 hours, which is a palatable, feasible length of that people are going to watch. Otherwise, it gets too long.
But too long,
well, what I think's going on with humanity is that belief systems, consciousness creates. We know that. And so if you've got so many people building up an energy, like Jesus lived, Jesus walked on water, then it becomes a reality in so many people's minds. If you have got like the UFO phenomena going on, and like people lend themselves to that variety of Star Trek type fantasy, they'll believe it. If you've got people that are living fear, like the War of the Worlds, the first one that came out with George Orwell, you know, in the 50s, and all the Americans were packing the cars and they were doing the runner, only a radio show. And, you know, so it depends from what level of psyche that you're prepared to accept this stuff. If you're an adventurous sort, and like me, I'm like, if someone says to me, if it came on the news, people, we've got some bad news. The aliens are coming, they're hostile, and they're going to be landing tomorrow. I'd go, well, fuck me, bring it on. What's the chances of that? You know, thousands and thousands of years, millions of years of human development, and they never landed, or at least we don't know that. And now they're going to land when I'm alive. Even if I don't live to be, you know, much older. What a fantastic experience. I'll go to greet them.
Did you hear of that conspiracy theory that Stephen Greer and other alien UFO guys has that the government and the Illuminati and how Bilderberg and how you want to call these guys are trying that. It's called Project Bluebeam, I think, when they really want to, they have apparently some bases on the backside of the moon, and they have some aliens there, but that aren't aliens, they are robots apparently, and they're planning a false flag alien invasion.
Yeah.
That everybody, oh no, the aliens coming, the aliens fucking coming. And then when the good aliens come, nobody would believe, no, you are the fucking bad aliens. Last year you were here, yeah, fuck you. And the good, no, we are the Arcturians, Pleiadians, or what you call them. And now we want to help you. And they really wanted to help our humanity, but we say no, fuck you. Last year the little Greys came and they fucked a lot of shit up, and maybe it made sense for me when it's I don't know these things, but it makes sense when you think about it that way. When these Bilderbergers, Illuminati, and they have always have contracts with these reptiles and other alien races, like. Let's presume David Icke is 100% right what she says. Let's presume that. And then it would make sense to stage a false flag alien attack, that nobody would listen to the good aliens, you know? Yeah. Because everybody just saw in the media, the bad aliens, but these are not aliens.
If you look, Chris, at how the human psyche is, all you got to do is look at Hollywood. If you look at all the films, then there's been so many films, there's always a baddie. The baddie comes in, he wreaks havoc, and then there's the knight in shining armor comes and saves the day. It's always the same. That's how the alien invasion has to play out. The baddies have to come down first, and then the knights in armor have got to come. You know, and so it's pathetic that, you know, they don't see it and they'll fall for it every single time, and they can't see these archetypes being played out in every single movie that they go and see.
Yeah, I say always that the truth is stranger than fiction. I really believe that. The truth, what really happens out there, but nobody knows, what really happens out there is very stranger than fiction that any Hollywood movie can ever create. That really, that's so fucking strange what happens out there.
One of the great philosophers, you know, was talking about religion, and he was saying that, you know, regarding all these religions in the Bible, he said, well, you know, I personally think that it's a miracle that anybody should believe in miracles. You know, that's how ridiculous it is. You know, because on the face of it, come on, let's be rational. How could a man walk on water? How could a burning bush talk? How could a snake talk? You know, how could a donkey talk? How could, like, you know, flaming wheels and fucking 9 heads and beasts and all this float in the sky? And, oh, come on, people. What's going on?
It's when you're a little bit intelligent, you know it's clearly a metaphor. It's not really meant that way, but a lot of people just read that, okay, it's the priest or authority figure said that, and it must be true, they are the experts, and I don't want to think for myself, and then I really believe that. Most people don't want to think for themselves. They really want someone who says, the world is like this, and this, and this, and this, and you could do this, and this, and that's it. And they go, okay. They never even question it. They say, okay. Like some people, I don't know, they walk around with, I don't know, it's a clothing line or something, with obey. Like, obey. I never would walk around with a T-shirt that says "Obey." I don't know. I'm not a slave, and I don't want to be a slave. But when you walk around with a T-shirt or a cappy that says "Obey," you, to me, you're saying, "I want to be a
like
slave."
in the movie They Live.
Yeah, yeah, like in the movie They Live, when they put phrases, or like we are almost like with the other friend. I always philosophize about that. Like we're always in George Orwell's 1985. Oh, almost in that. The only difference is that they don't really medicate us as strong as in the movie. They medicate us still with psychotropics and other stuff.
Yeah.
But in the movie, it's of course a little bit extremer. You don't have to have any feelings and have to use these medications and all this stuff. And but when I talk with a friend about that, we always say we're almost in that. We're almost in that George Orwell 1985 thing. Just that they don't medicate us as strong as in the movie.
Yeah, there's lots of people who would even go as far as to say that we've gone past that. And they talk about that, you know, the medication is in the fluoride, you know. You see, we've been medicated via the propaganda. And so it's a metaphor for the pill, you see, because it's like in Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, where they, you know, physically take, you know, pills to change their moods and everything. Well, we're not taking pills. We're just watching television. That's changing our moods. We're going to the movie. That's changing our moods. We're drinking alcohol. We're sedating ourselves with cigarettes. Any number of things is changing our moods. And so we are taking metaphorical pills all through every day.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, you could say that. TV is a drug too. TV, and it's so funny to me when people, like when I say I don't drink alcohol, but I still smoke weed, and in Germany it's still illegal, but a lot of people do it, but still, and a lot of people say to me, taking drugs, and I always say, you take drugs too, and they, no, I don't take drugs, but you drink alcohol. Yeah, it's legal. And it's still a drug. It doesn't matter if it's legal, it's still a drug. And you know that sugar and TV is a drug too. Even internet, everything can be a drug. You can be addicted to everything. And then the most people, no, I'm not addicted to TV. I'm not addicted to my cell phone. No. And then
they say, I'm not addicted to it. I just like it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I always say, when you take something, like I say, when I smoke weed, I say I smoke weed. I don't, no, it's so bad. And I don't say to people, don't do that. Or I never, when someone, I don't care, when someone I never met came to me and said, do you smoke weed? I say, yeah. Why should I give a fuck what he thinks about me?
Yeah, do I smoke this beautiful gift from Mother Nature? Fuck yeah. Yeah, I do.
The best argument you can say when someone is no, alcohol is better than weed, or something is better than weed, you can always, the best argument is weed cures cancer, you know, because there's a lot of studies in the USA and even here in Europe that prove that cannabis can treat and heal cancer.
And
but it's still illegal.
Many other ailments as well.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I want to delve into deeply on one of these occasions is that I don't believe that anything is true, and I've said it many times. Yeah. I believe that there is no truth, and so it's kind of like I know that there's no truth because I know that this is a non-reality, and so what from my standpoint, when someone says, do you believe in this and do you believe in that? Well, I go, I mean, everything has an equal footing. Everything, aliens, grey aliens, Martians, coming and building Atlantis and, dark side of the moon stuff and alien greys working in deep underground bunkers. And why shouldn't that be any more true than George Bush is telling you the truth?
Yeah.
And now Trump, he's telling you the truth. Or is he telling you lies? He's telling you both. Both is true.
Yeah, you really can't... It's very strange. You think you found truth, and It's like it's always changing. Even the truth is changing. The only thing that doesn't change in this universe is that everything is changing. And when everything is changing, everything what's today is right maybe is tomorrow is wrong. Maybe.
So
you don't know
therefore,
that.
there's no truth because, like Heraclitus, the Greek philosopher, said that the world, the universe, is in total flux, and so it is transitory every single millisecond of the day. And so, where's the truth? And when was it truth then? Is it truth now? Will it be truth? In a minute's time, in 10 minutes' time, whatever. What are you talking about? Truth? It's nonsense, and all the people that pertain or proclaim to have, discovered some truths. The only truth, really, and it's only from a subjective standpoint, really, is that 2 and 2 equals 4. Because that's what we've become accustomed. But if there's another planet and they say 2 and 2 equals 5, then that's true also, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's true for them.
It's like you can bring that to the discussion with parallel universes. Like, even when you found out everything in this universe, you know everything in this universe, every little law, everything what's going on, and there still will be another universe where something is not. When there are multiverses, there's still another universe where that is not true and not true. There are infinite possibilities, you could say, but nothing of that possibility is really true and not true. So everything contradicts itself in a way, like yin and yang. Yeah, it's like yin and
the
yang.
paradox, the paradox of the whole universe. It is a complete and utter paradox. And so, if anybody accepts the paradox, then there's no point in looking for truth anymore.
Yeah.
Because there is no truth in a paradox.
Yeah, or you could say you choose one side of the dogma. When you say I believe in that, you're not going the middle way. You're not trying to stay balanced.
That's all we've done, isn't it, Chris? All we've done is chose
the middle way. Yeah.
A certain facet of something which we can sort of cling to just for our own sanity. We've chose to believe in atoms, and the whole world is created around the belief of the atom. And it's been over 100 years since scientists have said, "Oi, by the way, atoms don't exist," but nobody wants to accept that. They keep going on as if atoms do exist. They do exist. They're clinging to it with white knuckles. They do exist. Please, please let atoms exist.
When you say to them, an atom is 99.99999% just empty space. They just they don't really want to understand that everything isn't really matter. It doesn't really exist.
And even the nucleus, it comes in and out of existence at will, and there's only one in any case. Because everything's entangled. It's just like a reflection. When you look at a fish in a fish tank from 2 different angles. This is how they explain the entanglement, so people, the layperson can experience it. If you can't get to grips with how each atom is entangled, then it's just a case of, look at a fish from 2 different perspectives. And if you're looking at the fish, we've got one camera going this way, and you're looking at the fish head on. Then you've got another camera going that way, and you're looking at the fish sideways. When the fish moves, right, both fish move simultaneously, and you go, how does that happen? It's 2 different fish. No, you're just looking at the same fish from 2 different angles.
Different things. It's so funny. Like, wait a second. I have to.
So we're up to 1 minute 50 now. So we'll wind this up in about 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. We can. I just wanted to. It's a good upwinder here. It's just,
okay, brilliant.
Just like I said, I had this mystical or spiritual experience in 2014, and after that I was in that bliss phase. into 2015, and then in 2015 there was such a strange year for me. But I have just synchronicities and stuff happened to me, revelation after revelation after revelation, the whole year through, and in half of that year, I just thought, man, I have so many revelations. I have to share that with the world, and I thought at that moment, I have to write a book. And
Right.
that's the first. I want to read you the first first page of that book.
Okay, brilliant.
But I stopped writing it because I know it would be at least 400 sites, and it's not like up
Well, no,
to date
no,
anymore.
you have to express yourself, you see, because what
Yeah.
I'm doing is, you see, I know that there's at least one book in me, and I
Yeah.
know that when I'm ready, I'll sit down and I'll do that, and that's all I'll do. But I'm writing my book in video format,
Yeah.
and because you've got this passion about it, you can't keep it in.
Yeah, it's like
You can't keep it in. You can't keep it in. You gotta let
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, it's really like that. You have so many revelations that you have to share it. I don't know how to describe it. You have that feeling that you have to share it.
Because it's the energy, you see. The energy permeates, and everybody
Yeah.
gets a piece of it, and then everybody builds up their energy and then permeates it elsewhere.
Yeah.
You see, this is how we're going to change the frequency of mankind.
Yeah, and maybe that's the reason I often think about that. Maybe that's the reason I chose this life, because a lot of people say you choose your life before
Yeah.
you came here. And then I think, why I choose this life? And the only thing that resonates with me is to try to change the people, try to change their mind, try to change how they think. They think so fucking in dogmas. I don't.
But also, you know, aren't you having a great time?
Yeah, of course, I have a
Yeah.
great time, but still, it's still like, you know that it's still sometimes very frustrating when you don't have so many people where you can talk about that stuff.
It gets
That's really-
easier. It gets
Yeah.
easier. I'm at a stage now whereby, because I've got, you see, we create our own reality. And you see, this you take a leaf out of my book. I did this because I knew that I needed to talk about this
Yeah.
stuff, and you can't do it in your own vicinity. So therefore, viewers looking in now, they know what to do. They've got to come out from under their stones, from out of their shell. They've
Yeah.
got to start mixing, and then. I swear, within a year's time, Chris, we will have over 100 people Skyping all over the world with each other, and this is
Yeah.
what we've done. And
Yeah.
our energy is just being put into use.
Yeah, good use, I would say. That's
Fantastic
very good
use.
So I try to translate it the best I can because I wrote it in German.
Okay.
So I decided. It's the first page of that book. Okay. So this is just my opinion, just my perspective. So how I see the things until now, how I understand the things until now, how the things make sense to me until now.
Right.
I don't know where I have to start, so I will start with the craziest things. I know people will call me crazy, and another word for crazy in German, or even worse. So I start with the crazy things. So and then the first section of the book would be the question after the sin of life. Sin is a real English word. I know. The meaning of life. The meaning of life.
Yeah.
Question after the meaning of life. So how I understand it until now, through quantum physics, religion, and through contemplating it myself, that everything is in connection with everything. That the universe is constructed holographically. And that the nature builds everything out of fractals. Everything is in the here and now. Time doesn't exist. Time is just the fourth dimension. You are immortal. You are not your body. You just live in that vessel, in this vessel. But he is, of course, a part of you. But you are not it. You are not your body. You are not your thoughts. You are the And then I get a lot of examples. You are the soul, spirit, God, everything, nothing, infinity, consciousness, nature. All these things are you. We all are these things. You, it's hard to translate. You must. You are just here to make experiences and to express your experiences and to try to go with the flow with the universe, Mother Nature, God, yourself, trust, how you want to call it. Just listen to your heart. Don't listen to your mind. Your mind are not. You're not your mind. Your mind is just a tool to be more conscious. Try to be more conscious. Try to hear. Try to listen to your intuition. I like the example that God is only playing with himself, and you are God, and that life is just a game.
Yeah.
And that's the first page of that book.
It sounds brilliant. And the reason why I haven't embarked on such a feat is because, you see, from what you have just read, that one page, there is a gazillion words to that people like you and I, they have it within their minds, and so we can think expansively, and we can understand what you're saying. A layperson could never read that book, and you see the reason it's difficult to know your market. It's kind of like, who am I writing to? How much knowledge is this reader going to have? Because when you say something like holographic universe, to explain a holographic universe, you need at least an hour to give them just a skim. Then if you explain, what it is to be a spirit, you need at least, you need a whole book on every one of these subjects. So what these books necessitate is for people who are going to be reading your book to have read all the other books already.
I contemplated myself. Maybe I call that books spirituality for the advanced, for people who know the most of that stuff and know what I think about. That's why the first sentence is, this is just my opinion. I know a lot of people will call me crazy and that stuff when they read this book. I know that's why that's on the first page, because I know a lot of people will have nothing to do with that stuff, like fractals in nature and
again fractal. I mean, how many people know what a fractal is?
Something like that.
It's amazing. And so when you see, you've just read that page, and when you read your list of like YouTubers or authors and this and that, what happens is when you have acquired knowledge, with every word that you say, it opens up in your mind a vast amount of information. For instance, if you say to me Freud, it's opened up. I've read over 20 books of Freud, and watched many documentaries and this and the other. If you say Jung, then it does the same. If you say Krishnamurti, it does the same. If you say any of these things, then it's amazing how much it's got in here. Where does it store it all? It's phenomenal. But you see, when I started out reading psychology and philosophy, particularly with psychology, reading Freud and people of that ilk, because they would often quote people of prominence at that particular time, and you would see names crop up consecutively. And what I always used to do is I used to write down these names, because when you're reading, if it says something like Freud's trying to impress a point on his reader, and he says, as per in like Jane Austen's novel, Pride and Prejudice. If you haven't read, Pride and Prejudice, then you can't get the point. But he was relying on the fact that everybody in the early 1900s read Jane Austen. You see, anybody that was learned. And so this is it, you see. You have to have a certain level of acceptance of the caliber of people that you are actually appealing to. And that in itself is going to be a very difficult task to achieve.
Yeah, that's why I stopped writing it because I
Yeah.
knew it's and it changed. So most of the stuff I still see is the same way, but it's I don't know if I really make a book out of it, and maybe I always thought maybe I start a YouTube channel, make the same almost the same thing you do, but I don't know. I really don't know. Something like sometimes I think about what should I do? I want to help, but I don't know, or I want to share, and I don't know why, or I can't really think about something how I could share this.
Just before we go,
Yeah.
a YouTube channel would be beautiful because, for instance, now I'm going to introduce you to my viewers, potentially 500 viewers, and instantly you could have an arena to communicate within, and people that are going to be watching your videos. Because if I do some promotion for you, like I'm doing for the other guys, and I'm saying, come on, watch these people's videos, get involved in everything. And so I think that's the easiest way, because try to get a book published about this stuff when nobody knows you, forget it, mate. And so by the time you've got several thousand videos up and people, there's a certain arena that do know you, then you may start contemplate writing something or transferring what you've said onto text, something like that. Okay, so Chris from Germany, been brilliant to talk to you, mate. Really pleased to have made your acquaintance, and I'm so happy that you've come forward. And so
it's always I always watch, like I said, I always watch every video of yours, not every Skype conversation, but every video since 2015, and I love your work. And that's good remembering, and that's what I think what the shaman in the medicine man in Africa meant when they said to you, "You're doing good work."
Yeah.
You've got.
I believe it. Well, you see, it's translated as "you've got a good job," but maybe it wasn't. You've got a good job. Maybe it was you're doing good work.
Do good work. I really believe when I saw that video, and I really immediately. He meant the medicine man meant this YouTube channel. He meant this. You're doing a good work, because you said it yourself. A lot of people write to you and say, "You speak to me really, or you help me really." What you said, I'm not the only one who thinks about that stuff. And I had the same thing with you. Like, finally, I found someone who thinks about the same stuff I do, and I really think you're really helping a lot of people. You don't know how much people you're really helping. I really believe that way.
Yes, I mean, I don't know, and I say to people, how could I if they don't come forward or if they don't tell me? So I have to encourage. But you see, that fortune teller type guy, you have to be a bit tongue-in-cheek with this, and you have to know that the Africans, they're very, very versatile in their entrepreneurial shit. They'll do anything to earn a dollar, of course. But you see, I listened to him with an open mind and an open heart, and I felt something from that, and I took something from that. And what he said, that it's really struck a chord with me. He says about how I look at everything. He says that he didn't say you analyze everything. He didn't say you question everything. He used another word, didn't he?
I think you look at things, and you don't look at them you don't believe that is what you see.
Doubt.
You believe.
That's it. You doubt everything. That's right. And then I said to the other guy, I said, look. When I did the second video, I said, help me out with this. Help me out with, let's run by what said and this, that, and the other. And then through the translation, he said, through the translation, you doubt. And that's a very, very good thing to say. I do doubt everything, because I doubt its very existence. And so, look, there's something there. There's
Yeah.
something there, man. Some of it, you know, it may invented, but some of it, there's something
Yeah,
there, man.
shamanism. Also, something is there. I believe so too. Also, Terence McKenna said that too. Shamanism, there is something. It's the oldest form of religion on this planet. Shamanism,
Yeah.
apparently, what I've heard, and I really believe that. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
And you should. Just that you know, that was just a thought of mine, because when I watched that video and you thought about it, good work, I don't know what you mean, I don't work, because you said that I don't work, I immediately know he meant your YouTube channel. You're doing a good work with your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I really believe that he meant that.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong, but I really
Well, I
believe
mean, you know, it's the possibilities are endless and it's open for interpretation. But you see, because I showed a great level of interest and seriousness about it, I wanted them to throw in a bit of a joke, because it was both. It was a bit of a joke and it was serious. And so I said then, you know, about the job. He looked at my hands and he thought that I've got a great job because my hands are smooth as a baby's bottom. Yeah, you know. Okay, so we'll leave it there. I'm going to get something to eat. We'll do it again in like a week's time, Chris, if you're up for that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm always, when I'm online, you can always write to me, and I almost always have time. Also,
and you're one of these guys like me. You emancipated yourself from the matrix facet of this life.
I have time. Yeah.
Yeah. So brilliant. So viewers, I hope you enjoyed this video. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Talk to you soon, mate.
Have a great day.
Ciao, man.